I've been wearing this on my wrist for the last 30 days and today I'm going to cast my judgment and tell you whether or not it's worth the hefty price tag. But before I give you my review, what is the Whoop and how does it work? The Whoop is the fitness tracker to end all fitness trackers. Now I don't know about you, but when I hear fitness tracker, I immediately think of those big, ugly Ben 10 looking watches that make you look like a bit of a gimp. Now whilst the Whoop definitely does keep some of that gimpiness, it is relatively stylish compared to its competitors and it does go quite under the radar. You actually don't have to wear a wristband at all, as Whoop sell t-shirts and boxers and arm sleeves and all sorts of other clothing accessories that you can actually put the device in, so you don't have to have anything on your wrist. It certainly does lose some of its style points though if you put the big clunky charger on it, and I wouldn't advise going to any kind of social event wearing that thing because you might get spat at when you're walking in the streets. Now at this point you're probably thinking, that's all well and good, but where's the screen? How do you get any information off of this thing? And that's where the Whoop really sets itself apart from some of its competitors, as it is actually controlled via an app on your phone. The Whoop app is broken down into three main sections. That's your sleep, your recovery and your strain. Now starting off with your sleep, which straight out the bat I'm going to say I think is the best feature on the Whoop, the band tracks literally everything about your sleep. That's how long you slept, what time you went to sleep, how many times you got up in the night to go for a piss, everything. It then combines all of these factors into a score out of 100 on how well you slept the night before. Not only this, but it'll also tell you how much sleep you need based on the kind of day you've had, how much exercise you've done, how tired you are from the last night's sleep. All of this comes together to mean that if you listen to the app and follow the advice it gives you, you will get better sleep. And if you get a 100 out of 100, you will feel like you can walk through walls the next day. As someone that particularly struggles with their sleep, I found this really helpful, and the feeling of waking up with a 100% starts your day off really well. But there may be some kind of placebo element to this, I'm not sure, but regardless, I feel good, so it works. The next section relates to recovery. Once again, the device uses lots of different data and gives you a score out of 100. Some of the data is going to relate to your sleep, but there's also going to be things like your resting heart rate, your respiratory rate and your HRV. I've had HRV explained to me a million different times and I still don't quite get it. It's something to do with the time between your heartbeats and the variance in between those, but essentially the more is the better. The recovery score essentially tells you how ready you are for the day and how ready you are to exercise. In my opinion, this is probably less useful than the sleep score. However, it is interesting as a couple of times I've looked at my recovery and despite having a great sleep, my health markers have been really low. In this particular case, I could see that my health markers were out of line, my resting heart rate was higher, my respiratory rate was higher, and this was actually the early signs of appendicitis. A couple of days later, I was under the needle and getting my appendix removed, and the first sign that I had was from the Whoop, so I can't knock the recovery score too much. Now, the last of the main sections is strain. As the name implies, this is essentially how hard you're working throughout the day and in any given exercise. If you look at some of Whoop's marketing material, you can see that they place quite an emphasis on the fact that, unlike other fitness trackers, Whoop is able to track your strain during weightlifting sessions rather than just cardio. Me being the gym rat that I am, I wanted to test this feature out and see if it was actually able to test how hard I was working in a workout. But I've got to say, I was left wanting with this feature. In any given weight session, my strain would build up to about 4 and then it would just drop off. And for reference, 4 is like light strain and about the same that you'd get for going on a walk. It'd get to the point where I'd have one of the hardest leg days of my life, limp out the gym, stall the car on the way home because my leg's shaking on the clutch so much, and then I'd find out that I only got enough strain equivalent to a morning walk. So those are the main 3 features on the app. There are a few others though, such as the ability to track habits. This essentially allows you to run your own micro experiments, such as whether caffeine affects your sleep or whether creatine allows you to work harder in the gym. I find that pretty useful. There's also a stress monitor, which I suppose is useful for some people, but I'm just so cool and relaxed, I just don't need it. So now I've told you about what the Whoop is, how it works, and all of that, let's get on to the main topic, which is the price. Now I'd be remiss not to mention the fact that you can get a 30-day free trial on the Whoop, so if you don't like my review, if you want to try it for yourself, you can go do that. That being said, the Whoop costs £230 per year. That's right, per year. Now if the price was £230 flat out, I'd say it's a no-brainer, go and buy it. Even if it was a little bit more, I'd still think about it. But the fact that it's a subscription model and you have to pay £230 every year is a deal breaker for me. I mean, with something like this, you're going to want it for what, 4 or 5 years at least before you even think of upgrading, and that's going to cost you £1,000 at least. I just don't think a subscription model makes sense for this kind of product. Without a doubt, the Whoop definitely improved my life, my sleep, my recovery, all of that. But I just can't justify it for that price. Maybe you can. If you've got money to spare, then I definitely think you should get it. It will make your life better. And if you're in any doubt, like I said, you can do the 30-day free trial and give it a go. But yeah, I'm going to be sending it back because I just ain't got dough like that. So I'm gonna have to wait until I get a bit more subscribers, I think. Check out the link in the description for my mailing list. I've got daily fitness insights, bit of knowledge for you. So check that out if you're interested. Other than that, see you in the next one.